Have you ever felt a certain tension between you and a woman? Something unspoken but unmistakably present? Not overt flirting, not obvious advances. Just a quiet pull in the way she looks at you, listens to you, or stays in your presence a little longer than necessary. She may not say anything direct. In fact, she might act almost normal on the surface. But there are subtle changes. The way her attention lingers. The way conversations become slightly more personal. The way physical distance slowly shrinks without either of you mentioning it. It's not loud, but it's different. What makes these moments confusing is that attraction rarely announces itself clearly. Most of the time, it moves through signals that are easy to overlook, or easy to misread if you're not paying attention. Many men assume that if a woman wants them, she'll simply say it or make it obvious. But human psychology, especially around attraction, doesn't usually work that way. In this video, we're going to explore the quiet behavioral cues that often appear when a woman begins opening herself emotionally and physically, so you can recognize the dynamic without forcing or misinterpreting it. When a woman begins to feel that you are a safe harbor, she stops trying to maintain a perfect image. In this section, we will analyze the first 3 signs of the opening process where the social masks begin to fall away. 1. She shows you her unfiltered side. In the early stages of attraction, everyone wants to present their best self. She may speak carefully, maintain a polished image, and keep her emotions under tight control. But when trust appears, she starts to loosen up. She dares to speak her mind more bluntly, showing her fatigue, her stubbornness, or even the quirky habits she once hid, thinking, "She cares less about her image around me lately, she must love me less." In reality, according to Femina Mind, authenticity is the highest reward of intimacy. When someone no longer feels the pressure to impress you, it is because they trust that you are big-hearted enough to accept their true self. Do not lose this connection by being too critical of her imperfect moments. 2. She starts sharing personal stories. This is a major step in emotional intimacy. Pay attention when conversations shift away from work or the weather and move toward the past. Childhood memories, family fractures, or the failures she has experienced. In psychology, this is called self-disclosure. This is a significant psychological investment. By telling you about old wounds, she is handing you a key to her inner world. Immediately playing Mr. Fix-It, trying to provide solutions to every problem she mentions. What she truly needs at this moment is presence and active listening. A man of character knows how to hold space for those emotions without judgment, making her feel that opening up was the right decision. 3. Her attention becomes more focused. In a world full of distractions, attention is a high-value currency. You will notice her starting to ask more about the small things in your life. She remembers the name of the colleague you dislike, exactly how you take your coffee, or a specific project you're worried about. This focus shows she is truly investing in understanding you. She isn't just there physically. Her mind is actively building a map of your world. Men often overlook this because it happens so quietly, without drama. But remember, the consistency of attention is the most accurate measure of a growing affection. If you notice she has started remembering the smallest details you've mentioned, understand that you have occupied a significant space in her mind. Hit. Like if these analyses help you recognize the quiet values you might have accidentally overlooked. Right now, you might feel intrigued, but also uncertain about what these signals truly mean. Because attraction, especially when it becomes deeper and more personal, rarely arrives in obvious declarations. Instead, it tends to show up through subtle shifts in closeness, comfort, and emotional openness. And without clear words, it can be difficult to know whether you're noticing something real or simply reading too much into the moment. That uncertainty is normal. Because most of these moments don't look dramatic when viewed on their own. They appear natural, spontaneous, even casual. A little more warmth in conversation, a little more trust in how she shares herself. Individually, none of it seems strong enough to define what's happening, but deeper attraction rarely reveals itself in one single gesture. It unfolds through patterns of growing vulnerability, like a door that opens one quiet step at a time, never forced, only unlocked through comfort. Or like a signal that becomes clearer the longer two people stay in tune with each other. The meaning isn't just in the behavior itself, but in the direction the connection keeps moving. What matters here isn't a specific sign. It's whether you feel her gradually lowering emotional walls rather than raising them. When someone becomes more present, more open, more willing to share parts of themselves they usually protect, that shift often speaks louder than any direct statement. And from here, the patterns become easier to recognize. Not louder or more dramatic, just clearer in how trust and attraction begin to align. If you've ever wondered how genuine desire quietly reveals itself through subtle changes, stay with me. 4. She lets silence be comfortable. This is a psychological state that only couples with true bonding achieve. In the early stages of attraction, silence often carries pressure. You scramble for topics to talk about, and she tries to fill the gaps for fear of awkwardness. But when a woman begins to open up, that social tension vanishes. You can sit next to each other in a coffee shop, each doing your own thing, or travel a long distance together without needing to speak much. Comfortable silence is evidence that the nervous systems of both individuals completely trust each other. She no longer feels the need to perform or act to keep your attention, trying to fill every silence out of fear that she is bored. According to Femina Mind, sometimes the most courageous act is allowing the connection to exist naturally in stillness. Enjoy those moments as they show you have become a part of her safety zone. 5. She seeks your perspective. This is a recognition of your mental value. When facing a problem at work or trouble with friends, she doesn't just vent to release stress. She actually asks, "What do you think about this?" Or, "If you were me, what would you do?" This is a subtle signal that she is placing value on your thought process. She doesn't just view you as a dating partner, but as a mentor, a reliable companion. Trying to over-impress with condescending advice or being pushy. Share your perspective calmly and sincerely. When a woman allows you into her decision-making process, she is giving you a priority position in her life. 6. She begins including you in her future moments. This is the strongest sign of silent commitment. Pay attention to the shift in language. Instead of saying, "I want to go," she starts using phrases like, "Next time we should," "Amos," "When we go on vacation next summer," "Shaings," or "You definitely have to try this when we." In linguistic psychology, the use of the pronoun we and the visualization of a future is a sign of healthy identity fusion. She has begun to automatically view your presence as a constant in her timeline. This doesn't come from dramatic promises, but from the accumulation of trust over time. If you hear these phrases, understand that in her mind, you are no longer an option. You have become a plan. These signs do not appear randomly. They are the result of the stability, respect, and sense of security you have provided. A woman opens up not because you have perfect tricks, but because you have proven yourself to be a man worth her trust. If you want to build a relationship where sincerity and fortitude are paramount, hit subscribe to Femina Mind. We will dive into the final layers together to understand the power of presence and how to maintain this connection. And in the end, the important thing is not how many of those signs you recognized. Attraction and intimacy between two people rarely follow a clear-cut formula. What is more worth reflecting on is this: When those signals appear, do you maintain your composure and respect for yourself and for her? Because true attraction doesn't come from rushing to seize an opportunity, but from how you remain steady in that moment. Many believe that as soon as they see a sign, as long as it's the right time, they must move forward immediately to avoid missing out. But sometimes, that very haste shatters what is gradually forming. A deep connection doesn't grow from grasping, it grows from the comfort of two people voluntarily moving closer. In such moments, it's not whether you move forward or back that matters. It's that you don't lose respect for the natural rhythm of the relationship. Femina Mind does not exist to turn emotional signals into conquest tactics. Nor is it meant to make you analyze women like a psychological math problem. Femina Mind is an observational mindset, helping you recognize when attraction is developing naturally without the need to force it to go faster. It is a way to stay calm as intimacy forms, and it is the self-respect compass reminding you that a true connection doesn't come from winning someone over, but from both individuals freely walking in the same direction. Perhaps the question worth pausing on is not, does she really want me? Instead, it is, am I calm enough to let everything develop naturally? If you wish, you can share your thoughts or experiences in the comments, not to boast, but simply to speak on what you have realized. And if Femina Mind helps you maintain that clarity and respect, stay and follow the channel, not to learn how to conquer anyone, but to understand how a true connection is formed.